all of the police operations under one umbrella, because currently some investigation units have already had to be moved off-site from the Independence headquarters, and the K-9 unit, for instance, is way out in Eastern Independence. They would be able to bring everything together. They would build a new training center that would meet the needs of a modern police department. It also would allow them to bring regional law enforcement clinics and training opportunities to that Independence campus. And in theory, they could actually monetize some of that. But to renovate that campus would cost $123 million. So question one overall is a $130 million bond with $123 million earmarked for the new Justice Center. The other $4 million would be used to demolish the existing Independence Police headquarters. And then it also includes $3 million to buy the Jackson County Regional Animal Shelter. Currently, the City of Independence operates it, but they don't own the building. So when it comes to maintenance issues or things they'd like to do with the property, they're not allowed to. Again, if they buy it, if they own it and they operate it, they could open that up to other cities and have them bring their, make contract with them to bring their animals there, contract with the county to bring their animals there. And in theory, there could be some offset in terms of, monetizing that if they own and in addition to operating it. But that's what question one would cover, okay? So that is $130 million of the $197 million is just this public safety bond, okay? Question two is infrastructure, okay? So question two is roads, bridges, and sidewalks. All right, so for this one is a total of $55 million. That's the bond, that's the ask on question two, is $55 million for these infrastructure projects, okay? The bulk of that, $30 million, is for street resurfacing. The city already has a program, yes, but it doesn't have enough money to meet the needs of the city because the cost of resurfacing has gone up since they last asked for money for it. So they want another $30 million for that project, okay? There's another $10 million earmarked in here for sidewalks. And the sidewalks they want to put in are around 7 elementary schools, 5 in the Independence School District and 2 in the Fort Osage School District. Now, some of them already have sidewalks. They're just in disrepair. Some of them have no sidewalks at all, which makes it unsafe for the kids that are walking to school. So what they want to do in that case is build these sidewalks around these 7 schools. And so they've earmarked about $10 million for that. The last bit is $15 million, and that is for bridges, specifically for 14 bridges and 97 culverts that they've identified that are in disrepair. Some of these bridges, 5 of these bridges, in fact, are already closed. Another one is partially closed. And then there's several of the bridges that are in danger of having to close in the near future if they don't receive some sort of attention, if they don't get fixed and address some of the structural issues that are starting to come up. And so that $15 million would go toward addressing those needs. So that's question two, and it would be a pretty significant investment in the roads, bridges, and sidewalks and the infrastructure around town. But again, that's something that everybody uses, and it's something that the city just says they don't have enough money for in their existing funds, and so that's why they're coming to voters and asking for this additional bond question. The last one, question three, is the cheapest of the 3, and this one is for the athletic complex and for historic buildings. And this one is a $12 million bond, okay? And so, again, part of the city council's calculus here is that this athletic complex is something of an underutilized asset. Just like with the Justice Center, where they could, in theory, make some money by attracting more regional law enforcement conferences and offering training opportunities to other law enforcement agencies that would pay to use their space for training purposes in certain instances, or contract with other cities to bring their animals to the Jackson County Regional Animal Shelter. This athletic complex currently has softball fields, baseball fields, soccer fields, and some football fields, but it's not specific enough to any one sport to attract some of the big tournaments that also attract a lot of spending from parents who have to come spend the day there. So They think that what they'd like to do is turn this into a soccer-specific complex. So think Shields out in Overland Park, something like that, except this one would be in eastern Jackson County, and they would try to kind of get into the sports tourism business a little bit, and then they would find ways to improve the stock of baseball and softball fields and things like that at other parks that the city owns across the city. But they want $5 million of this $12 million bond to go toward this athletic complex part. And then the other $7 million would go